Winchester Model 70. The rifle's excellent shape. The pad is kind of dried out and it doesn't actually act like a pad. It acts more like a rock. 45 years old. It's at the end of its life. Well, actually, it's past the end of its life. It's like holding a rock and up against your shoulder, then hit with a hammer. Caldwell lead sled is a very useful tool for zeroing in, these heavy caliber guns. The only problem that you have to be aware of is you can't put too much lead shot on here to take all of the recoil away from the gun, because it's easy to break stock on your gun using a lead sled. And some people would like to use it to zero a gun in, which it works pretty good. But in this case, we're just using it as a fixture to hold the gun. To shoot these rifles, to prepare to go elephant hunting or any kind of dangerous game hunting, you have to stand up and shoot the gun. A standard shooting position that you're comfortable with, because your life could depend on it. This gun has to be part of your body. It has to be an extension of your arm, and you have to really be comfortable shooting this thing. Make sure the gun's clear, nothing in it. Make sure there's nothing in it again. And then when you aim, make sure that you aim in a safe direction. An obstruction in the barrel could be devastating, would be devastating to anybody. So it's kind of important to check to make sure it's clear. And then the next thing that we want to do is to make sure that our backstop is heavy enough to handle the penetration of bullets, whether we're using the low recoil, intermediate, or even high velocity. These bullets travel extremely far through all kinds of material. There's not much that will stop it, so they're extremely dangerous compared to a lot of other popular sporting rounds. The most important thing that you really need to do is handle your gun as much as possible. Go through the actions like you would normally go through to shoot an animal or to shoot anything. You just can't pick up a rifle, especially a heavy recoiling rifle, and expect to hit the broadside of a barn if you don't practice with it. We're getting ready to do some dry firing. Prepare to shoot. Fire. Put another one in. Fire. Put another one in. Fire. You have to have it up against your face, or your face has to be up against the side of the rifle butt as tight as possible, holding the grip up against your shoulder as tight as possible and pulling it in with the forearm, so that when the gun goes off, these things take some of the recoil away from your shoulder. Low recoil. These are the intermediates. Now, these are the full bore, full house loads. I try not to change the sighting on any guns. because when you're shooting high velocity stuff, it is going to be a little bit different than the low velocity. The intermediate velocity hits pretty close to the high velocity point of aim, but the low velocity stuff usually shoots a lot higher, you know, and it gets people a little confused. I try not to change the point of impact, you know, and most of your shooting with these big guns is going to be relatively close. You know, the PHs want you to as close as possible. They don't want you to miss. You know, so they really want you close. You know, I've talked to some of my customers that have shot elephants at 7 or 8 yards away. It's not very far away from an animal that weighs 16,000 pounds. You don't need to wear a Nyati jacket to shoot Nyati ammunition. It helps.